All right, I'm here with Norm, and the man doesn't need any introduction. In fact, in talking to him, was my reintroduction into Little Wargame, making videos to Little Wargame RTS channel. Kicked off with talking with Norm. He's here today to tell us all about how he's going to stomp in the Mentor tournament. Isn't that right, Norm?
You're absolutely right, Etano. I
Okay.
believe that I have a technique that other people do not have when it comes to coaching, and you guys are going to see that relatively soon.
All right, we were gonna go somewhere else to start. We're gonna skip all the things that we wanted to do and go right into this. You can't just say I have a secret technique and then not explain the secret technique. Come on, come on. Can you give us a tidbit, maybe a teaser of your secret special technique sauce?
I guess without revealing anything too much, I would say reacting to scenarios.
All right, well that's just vague enough that you can take credit for it when it works and say that it's not what you practiced if it doesn't work. That's exactly how this is supposed to go, right? So you are part of the mentor tournament. You're one of the 8 mentors, and obviously we've gone over your accomplishments and your thoughts on AA4, now version 4.3 balance, quite a bit. But you've got a student. Like, you can't be a mentor without a student, right? Who's your student?
For those of you who do not know who my student is, you're about to learn right now. My student is, drumroll please, Etano. It is felipebrazil.
Hey, there we go.
Felipebrazil.
There we go.
He is my student. And before I even start talking about him, I just want to let you guys know that Felipe is a newer player, and he doesn't have as much experience as somebody by the name of therx or WeirdRat.
Okay.
These guys doing as students, I don't know.
Shots in the dark. All right, sure. Why not?
You know. But anyways,
So yeah,
yeah.
so are you happy with what you're seeing from Felipe? Because this is you. We'll get into your thoughts on the state, like the status of the other students in the tournament. But how is Felipe as a student? Is he is he engaging with you well? Is he practicing hard? Like, how's it going?
He is so awesome. Felipe is a self-starter. He gets on every day. He's practicing. He comes into my Discord. We go over games, and it's just really nice to see not only just Felipe, but like I've helped people like PranksterGangster, let's see here, SatCitAnanda and glaba. All 3 of those people get better in the game. And it's just really nice to see the progress that he has made so far.
Yeah. So
and I'm actually really proud. Really proud.
Yeah. So I'm going to ask this question. I mean, is it too far to consider that he could get to the top half of the tournament? Like, do you think that is within him? Does he have that talent, that kind of rise to him? What do you think? He's working so hard. He's doing all of these things. Like, top half is all you have to do is get top 4. You think that's doable? You gonna get him there?
I think it could be doable. It all depends. Like I said, Felipe is definitely a newer player out of the roster of students, but the amount of like he's come such a far way that he has been getting compliments from players like JY, Ruadh, and players like that. So I'm really happy to see that he's getting his props because he's been working hard, and I've also been in his ear about certain things, about what we're working on, what we're trying to expect for the tournament.
Okay. All right. Well, I don't want to reveal too much on that, but if you can maybe edge into this however best you can manage it, what are you talking to him about? Like, you don't have to say specifics. It could be like best of 3 or mentality, or is this part of the secret that you can't reveal just yet?
It is kind of a secret.
Okay.
It's the way that I teach people is kind of like a secret, unless you've like watched my coaching videos or
Yeah.
whatnot. It's a lot of it boils down to knowing what to do against certain scenarios, proper macro, and better control of units. And I'm not going to be saying like what we've exactly been focusing on, what build orders,
Yeah, of course.
how to adapt to, but we've been working on all of that, and he has become pretty good so far. Like I feel like he's going to be much better in a week's time from where he is right now, because I just see him just climbing up the ladder ever so slowly, getting those games and putting in that hard work, listening to what I have to say. I'm really happy that Felipe has. Shout out to Felipe, by the way, for being an amazing student. He never really questions what I say to him. He's kind of just does what I say, and he's really been like I said. He's just really been, getting better, and I'm really proud.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've got a question that lines up with coaching, since you are obviously Felipe Brazil's coach, but you have mentored other people before. I mean, I've seen your YouTube content on RTS Guy 28, right? And some of your live streams where you coach other people and help them out. Are you approaching coaching differently now that you have a dedicated student for a longer period of time? Does it change how you think about coaching at all?
Absolutely not, Itano.
Okay.
Absolutely not. The best way I believe to coach somebody is not coach them to win, but
Good.
coach
Okay.
them to get to improve. You know what I'm saying? Like I like Felipe is one of those people that wants to learn this game inside and out. He wants to improve. He wants his micro to get better. And that's what we've been focusing on mostly. I guess I kind of just kind of gave you guys a little bit of a spoiler right there.
Just a
But
little bit of it. Yeah.
I mean, but like I said, like our focus is making Felipe better. Not, hey Felipe, let's go do this crazy, nonchalant tactic, and try to win this tournament. If we're gonna win it, Felipe is gonna be the best player in the tournament, and he's be playing his game. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay. Yeah, interesting. Because as I said, some people I've just heard their idea is, well, yeah. I mean, if I'm coaching just one for one occasion, we're just going to talk about this, that, and the other. But if it's for a longer period of time, then I'll take these things into consideration, more serious items. So, but it sounds like to you, it's just full force contact the entire way. Like if you've got the student for an hour, then for an hour they're going to be put through the ringer. And if you've got them for potentially 5 weeks, in the case of Felipe, as long as he can handle it, you're willing to take him as far as he can take himself, right?
Absolutely. I'm even trying to push him a little bit farther and make him realize some things that he does wrong. And he's going to come to a point where everything that I say to him in the game, he's going to start realizing for himself. And then when that happens, that's when the magic is going to happen. That's when he's going to start actually rolling over people. Like Felipe is like a snowball right now. He's not too big, but I'm telling you, he is snowballing into a good opponent, guys. Watch out.
Okay. So with that, now that I mean, would you say then? Maybe you can't predict if he'll be top four or top two or something like that. Let's take a different angle. There are a lot of people here who are starting. A lot of the other students, you look at people like BabyMight or maybe Doomster. They're starting at not the highest level themselves. Would it be a point of pride to you for Felipe to become, at bare minimum, the most improved player? Do you think that he has that in him?
I most certainly think that it could happen if we take this training seriously, and if we start doing everything that we need to do in the game when it's needed.
So,
But I would definitely see Felipe being most improved.
okay, fantastic. So with that, you're a mentor, and obviously Felipe Brazil is your student, but there are 8 mentors in the tournament. You've got people like, Rynus with the Rynus Ball, and you've got Humon, whose name is like code for a catapult dragon and other non-factionally aligned mismatched things. You've got SatCit, who's this thinker, and Aicy and Glaba, who speak for themselves, and you've got all these names. Are you worried about where you stack up relative to these other coaches or mentors?
I don't think so, because I think SatCitAnanda is honestly probably like, if I were to rate these coaches,
all right, come on, hit.
I'm gonna hit you with the spice. I'm gonna rate myself first, and I'm gonna say why right now. It's because I have made prior people like Works and SatCit himself, who is now a mentor. I coach those guys. I help those guys improve to the point where they're beating me now, and they're a part of my team. And not only that, but I've helped out like maybe 5 or 7 extra other people with the coaching sessions on live YouTube. I enjoy doing this stuff. That's why I rate myself #1. And not only that, not only do I enjoy doing it, I have the know-how to do it. Like I know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm doing. I see everybody that I coach, I see improvement all the time.
Would you say that you're the most experienced coach, or that you're just the best coach? Or would you just say it's like, what do you think of that? Are you the most experienced, or are you the best?
I think I wouldn't be the most experienced coach, maybe, but I say that I would probably enjoy it more than anybody else. I volunteer my time all the time to try to coach people and try to help them get better, and it makes me feel so good inside to see them, like get better. Like PranksterGangster, like when he beat me, it like almost put a tear to my eye. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love it when these medium average players get up there and start getting good. They start macroing better. They start getting their buildings on time. They start developing game knowledge. They start looking and doing things for themselves. That's why I love all of that stuff, and that's why I would recommend. I'd say that I'm #1, and then I would say SatCitAnanda for #2,
okay,
because he is a logical thinker. And he plays chess very much, and I like his mechanics are pretty good. And with the state of of him himself, I mean, he's improved a lot. He was able to join Clan Best of as well, because he was able to beat me as well. I'd say Aicy for
You're
third.
going in order, right? Like, so Aicy is third then?
I'd say Aicy would be third. Yeah, I'd say Aicy would definitely be third, because Aicy probably knows a bit about this game more than me. In all fairness, I mean, and Aicy is a better player than I am. I would say that. Yeah, and I would rate him third, because I think that Aicy. And I'm gonna say this as well for Glaba as well. I'd rate him #4, but like I'd say both of these mentors, in my honest opinion, are trying to develop a build where you just go and win.
Okay.
And it could work, or it can't work. You know what I'm saying? This is a students. The students are going to be against each other, and we're not expecting the students to have the right amount of micromanaging and macroing that the mentors have. And let's see here. I would say Prankster as #5. I don't think that Prankster really knows too much about LWG as of right now.
Damn. Okay.
To be
Wait,
coaching.
what? Wait, what? He managed to beat you in a game? How does he not know that much about little war games?
I mean, I don't know. I mean.
No, defend it. Like you've got your perspective, right? Like.
It's just Prankster hasn't been around very much. Like, he hasn't been around very much. Took a really long break. Don't get me wrong, he was able to beat me in a couple games, but I mean, when I spectate him, I noticed that there's some things that he could be doing differently, like just decision making wise, in my opinion. He could be a bit better at that. And that I don't know. I think that may roll into the coaching. And then we got Visix as number, what was it, number 6 or number 7 now?
Yeah,
It'd
I
be
think number six.
Visixfan and
I
then
think number six
Rynus.
because there's Well, you didn't even mention Humon. What about Humon?
Oh, I didn't even see Human.
Wow.
Oh my
Okay.
God. Okay, so I would say Human before Visix,
Okay.
and then Rynus at the end, because Rynus doesn't really speak too much English,
Okay.
and Rynus is only like good with mech. He doesn't really play any other race, so that's why I kind of like label him as last.
Okay. Okay. So you're not doing this by order of how strong the player is. You're doing it by what their ability is to coach. Because as you said, the students are playing, right? Not the mentors. So,
Absolutely,
so
absolutely, and I may be wrong. I may be wrong,
oh, that's what
but
all of this week zero analysis is about, right? It's about getting your ideas out there and how you think about them. So I'm curious as to your thoughts about this. We kind of went over the mentors, but I want to group up together who the students are. So for instance, we've got Visix and WeirdRat, and you've been quite vocal for people who don't know that WeirdRat is good. Like WeirdRat's really good. What's your take on all of that? How do you think he's going to do? Any way you want to take it.
well, when you say Weird Rat is really good, I think that you're putting a little bit too much emphasis into it. I mean, he took a long break from LWG. He's coming back, and obviously there's like flaws in his game, but I would say out of all these players, I mean, it's between Weird Rat and therx when it comes to experience. I mean, these guys have been around for years. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? So, I mean, like, I think that they have enough knowledge to maybe coach themselves. With glaba and therx. With Ruadh, with Prankster. Um, I feel like,
I actually, before we get there, just I have a cheeky follow up question
yeah,
before
sure.
it leaves us. So you think that Visixfan's student of WeirdRat is strong amongst the 8 people here, and
Oh,
Glava's
of
student
course,
of therx is strong. If
of
either one
course.
of them do worse than top 2, is that a failing of the coach?
Um, I don't think so necessarily. It all depends on what the game plan is that the coach is giving the mentor. Because honestly, it's you basically the student is gonna do what the coach says, almost all the time. So like it all depends. Like it could be a good strategy. It could be, but like maybe the student just doesn't perform on that day or something. But there's a bunch of factors. I honestly couldn't tell you, Tano. It all depends.
Okay. You were going into PranksterGangster and Ruadh, though, as a combination. PranksterGangster obviously being the mentor side of that. And you didn't rank PranksterGangster too highly relative to the other coaches. What do you think of
I
Ruadh?
can say I can say that Prankster Gangster has improved a lot. By the way, like he has improved a lot. He was able to beat me like 1 or 2 games. It was pretty cool. Um, with Ruda, um, I feel like I feel like this is going to be a beast combo. I think Ruda is going to be playing beast, and Prankster Gangster is going to be emphasizing getting fast units. I think maybe even a 2 den. Who knows? I couldn't really tell you,
Okay. Is that just because that's how
but
PranksterGangster plays, or?
I honestly couldn't tell you. I don't know. I feel like 2 den is a really good test of one's micro. For both sides, mostly for the person that's actually being attacked. Puts more pressure on him.
Okay.
But that's why I think that I can see in the near future some pretty aggressive builds in the tournament. Try to
Okay.
get some free wins. I think. I'm thinking.
Is that how you look at them? Like, do you think? Yeah, let's just do that. Like, series planning involves that, because it's best of three, and you get to play two of them against two separate, or the students will get to play two of them against two separate opponents. Do you think there are a lot of people who will just default to, yeah, man, just two Denon?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. There's a few people I think that are a bit new to RTS, being Ruadh being number one, Derpo being number two, BabyMight, Doomster. I mean, I just don't think that these opponents are gonna, excuse me, not opponents. These students
Well, they're
are
by
gonna have
proxy
enough
your
time.
opponents, right?
Right, but I don't. Yeah, I can refer to them as opponents. I mean, I wasn't wrong, but I was trying to be a little more respectful.
Yeah, fair enough.
So these four students, like I said, I think they're kind of new to the RTS, and I don't know if they are capable of, uh, you know, putting up a good three base build or solid macro play. So that's what really makes me kind of irky about these rushes. You know what I'm saying?
Okay. Because if the game doesn't go very long, it doesn't matter if their three base macro isn't very good.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's move on to Humon and BabyMight. Honestly, you said that Humon makes dragons, catapults, and what?
He just mixes things together that aren't of the same balance. Like he'll do things like, yeah, werewolf soldier is a real build according to. I've called it the Human special, basically. He mix and
Okay.
matches things like that.
So I think that Human is a decent mentor here. I think Human's smart, but I think that Human is lacking in actual games played. Possibly, I don't ever see Human ever playing. Especially in like the year that I've been on, I've only seen Human play like maybe 5 times. I could be wrong, but I mean, that's basically all that I'm seeing with Human here. And Human actually might be, maybe, since Human, has that sweet sauce and likes to, put, dragons together with catapults. I mean, and werewolves with soldiers. Maybe we might see some really finesse, some really fine finesse here with these two. Maybe these guys have a build that we actually never seen before. They might be putting one together. Who knows?
Mm-hmm. I will
It's very
also
interesting.
I'll also lend some. This doesn't give any information away, but you might find it interesting. I do see BabyMight on quite a bit, like very very often. And I'm only starting to notice in the context of the mentor tournament, so perhaps that person has been here for a while. But BabyMight looks motivated.
Yeah. BabyMight has definitely been on. Has been playing some games. I wish him the best of luck. If we could move on to SatCitAnanda and Doomster, I have a couple words about this.
Okay.
So with SatCitAnanda, he is a player like me who wants to like dig into the game and figure it out and learn all the counters of everything and learn the correct moves for each game point, stuff like that. But his opponent, his mentor is, excuse me, his coach. What is the
Student. Yeah.
student? There
Yeah.
we go.
Yeah.
The
There we go.
student is Doomster. And like I said, I think Doomster is a bit new to RTS games. So I really don't know what the plan is here. SatCitAnanda might be, trying to approach coaching maybe the way that I would, which I think is more important than winning, to be honest. I mean, getting people better and getting them, having a strong, opening and a strong early game, a strong mid game, strong late game, like all that stuff is complete and utterly vital if you want to be good. And I think that's the way that SatCitAnanda is going to be going with Doomster. I don't know necessarily if it's going to be, enough time, but I can tell you that SatCitAnanda will make Doomster better, just by the way that he the way that he thinks and the way that he plays.
Does SatCit think too closely to yourself? Like, do you see that? Do you think that SatCit's coaching is different from NorM's coaching?
I could probably see a resemblance. Maybe in a way that I'd probably add some things that maybe he wouldn't think about, just probably based off of game sense and stuff like that. But I think that SatCitAnanda basically has the same concept of coaching as me, and I'm actually kind of interested to see how Doomster ends up playing.
Is there a rivalry there? Because felipebrazil is someone that you've been coaching, and this is a person who's somewhat newer by your own admission. SatCitAnanda is this person whose coaching style is similar to yours, and also has a fairly new individual by all accounts. Is that a rivalry? Is that someone that you're really looking out for, or is that just a curiosity?
Well, either way, this tournament is making me feel happy because all these students, Derpo, Ruadh, felipebrazil, BabyMight, Doomster, JY, therx, everybody here gets their own mentor, and they all get to work with each other for a week, and they all get to learn whatever they're gonna do in the tournament, and they all get to compete. And not only that, but it makes the community stronger, and it makes the player base better because people are playing each other. And like I said, you got that person, and you got the mentor in the student's ear when they're playing, and it just makes so much of a difference. Like I love the concept of the tournament. um I appreciate Hobo for making the concept up. I appreciate your time, Itano, for coming out here and doing this interview with me, and casting the games as well when the time comes. I mean, time is money, as everybody knows. So
I, I'm I like the concept of the tournaments as well because of what you're saying. When people don't feel like the result is foretold or foreknown, yeah, now all of a sudden, I see even some of the mentors are playing games against each other, and then, well, I mean, what all the students are going to play against each other, and the people who weren't selected are definitely going to be playing a bit more. But I don't want to get too off the rails because we do have two other pairs of people to go over it. It's going to be Aicy and JY, and then it's going to be glaba and therx. Like, where do you put these? Like, you said that Aicy and glaba have maybe a little worse. They're not the number one coaches to you. I believe you said they're number 3 and number 4, respectively. What do you think about their students? What do you think about JY for Aicy?
Shoot, I've never seen JY play. I think I've seen JY play like once or twice, but I'm pretty sure that AC is going to be wanting JY to just outright winning the game early. I may be wrong. These are only spectacles. But I'm pretty sure that JY is going to go aggressive in the tournament. Same thing with glaba and therx, because AC and glaba, I believe that they think a lot alike. And they're good friends, and because they're good friends, and because AC is really good. Glaba, I'm almost certain that glaba follows AC. In the retrospect of building and like game sense and knowledge. So I think that they might have the same coaching strategy, but glaba may mix it up because he might be a little bit more big brained than you and me both, Itano, and he might be like, you know what, yeah, we're gonna like, what is it? We're gonna like coach the same, but glaba might throw in like a like a wrench. You know, you might throw in something crazy. You know, like there's so many different possibilities that could be done in this tournament, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what ends up happening.
So now we're gonna do this in a way that's very particular, okay? We're gonna pretend that you're just Norm, the person who is watching in, right? And for whatever reason, felipebrazil, we're not going to talk about him for this because no reason to put anyone in an awkward spot, right? You're just looking at the 7 students as they are. Do you have any speculation as to who's going to be the top 3?
WeirdRat.
Okay. Number 1 or just as...
In the top 3, I'm just not going to say like number. They're not in order, but I'd say WeirdRat, JY, and therx. But we'll definitely see when the time comes, right?
Okay.
I'm really looking forward to seeing my not only myself, but I'm looking forward to you guys seeing the improvement that felipebrazil has gone through in this past in only just these past few days. Like I'm actually pretty excited to see what he'll be capable of when it comes to tournament day.
And that's probably the most exciting thing about the format is that because it is, I mean, I'm tooting my own horn here because spoiler alert, Hobo and I were the ones who designed the format. So, you know, I wonder who I'm saying did a good job here. You can read between the lines, but one of the benefits of the format is that you do get to see these players play over an extended amount of time, and you get to see who really practices and then who doesn't, and you know, maybe some people can close gaps that they wouldn't be able to close normally under the guise of that, you know, under the guide and wisdom of a mentor. So with that, Norm, this is actually just going to be a bit of a shorter interview. Do you have anything that you want to reach or talk about as a final topic? I think we pretty much hit everything, but is there something that's been burning and pressing on your mind?
Oh, not exactly. There is a couple things that I would like to shout out, if that is okay, Tyler.
Yeah, absolutely. Go for it.
I would like to give everybody a quick shout out that subscribed to my YouTube channel, RTS Guy 28. Just reached past 100 subscribers. We're at 103. And I'm sorry if you guys have been missing me on the live stream. We're going to be doing that relatively soon. I think we're going to be doing it on a Wednesday at 3 o'clock. Wednesday at 3 o'clock p.m. I'm going to be live Eastern Standard Time.
Okay.
I'm going to be live. I'm going to be hyped. We're going to have some fun, guys. Make sure you come and check it out. Other than that, I'm just really excited to see all these, except for WeirdRat and maybe therx. I'm excited to see the improvement of everybody else.